If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 381. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am James Yount, the big dog, Yount Dog.
What the fuck is going on? All right, so you guys obviously all know that something different is happening tonight. So Joel Dude I Rock Albert is out with some house disasters at his home, and Hitman has been gallivanting for multiple weeks out on the West Coast for Comic-Con, and he's out there for the week before and the week after, and Tiff's not around tonight. So I brought in a special guest host, James Yount Dog Yount. So what is going on, Yount? How are you?
I'm good. Hello, everybody. Nice to be on here.
Yes, this is a first. This is, of all the co-hosts I've had, I've reused a bunch, but this is your virgin episode, so this will be good.
It is. It's exciting because I've always been in chat or just lingering around. I've been around Too Old to Pay for, I think, close to 12 years now. So, I mean,
you know what's going on.
Big fan of the community. Big fan of part of the community. Yep.
See, this is just going to be like, instead of listening, now you just get to talk during the parts that you were probably yelling at the, no, you guys are idiots.
Yeah. Typing in chat, please answer my questions, dang it.
See, now you have an audience tonight, so this will be good. All right, well, why don't we just hop right in the show proper, Yount, and we'll jump right into the mailbag and feedback from last week's show, which was really like a month and a week ago, right after E3. So it's a little outdated, but we'll deal with it. And remember, if you guys want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Samantha Wins comments. Your E3 episode didn't disappoint. I felt like I was there. Did you listen to our E3 episode yet?
Oh, I did. I would agree with that. Totally. It felt like I watched the whole E3 press conference, at home and stuff. But the insight that you guys give during the show is always great because it gives it, more of the hands-on of like what we don't see behind the scenes and what we can talk about. You give us more of the gamer perspective instead of like we're Microsoft exclusive. We don't get that stuff from you guys. Yeah. So we don't get that from you guys. We actually get the scoop on things, and we get your opinion because you guys we play games, which is nice. So, I can only give so much opinion when I watch it on stream and, totally dissing on whoever is not presenting very well that year or whatever.
Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate the kind words. And similarly, Mark the Shark comments, great E3 recap. I watched some of the press conferences online, but it must be wild to be there in person. Yeah, it is. It's pretty fucking cool. And you'd think it would get less cool year after year, but when you're in the fucking theater and the lights go down and everything's green lights from Microsoft and they're like, welcome to the 2018 Microsoft E3 press briefing. And you're just like, holy shit. Like, as much as you want to be a journalist, you kind of fanboy out a little bit. And it happens.
That's me at home. My toes tingle when that comes on.
But yeah, it's something special to be there in person, and nowadays, it's not exactly the same thing. I'll tell you that. But Mark the Shark, if you want to go buy yourself a pass to go to E3, it's only like $250, and you'll get some of the experience. You won't. It's definitely not the experience that people think they're going to get because you're not going to the press conferences, and when you go into the show floor, you are waiting in 4 to 6 hour lines for things where we have an appointment and we walk up at our time and we're playing in 2 minutes past our appointment start time. But if you just want the pomp and circumstance of E3 and to go there and see this giant spectacle in these booths that are absolutely insane, then definitely spend a couple $100 and go. It's definitely worth it at least once.
I know if I get part of this this cast here that maybe one day I'll get to go as the cameraman. Yeah, come in as the cameraman and be like, hey, I got an appointment.
It's all about doing enough to get credentials. That's all it takes.
Yep.
All right, and Vic2187 comments. I liked it better when your E3 episodes were 3+ hours long. Just kidding. Well, only part kidding. Seriously, though, good show. That really just has to do with the fact that it was me and Tiff, because Tiff doesn't like to talk long-windedly like Joel Dudai Rock, Albert, and I do. Like, he and I could do a 5-hour E3 show if we wanted, but since it was just Tiff and
I don't know. I felt like there wasn't as much content really this year, to be honest with you. I mean, there were some cool games that came out, but I didn't feel like it was enough to. I mean, you could talk about a game for hours, but I didn't feel like there was a huge amount of like, oh yeah, shocker, Spider-Man. Oh, we've seen it the past 3 years. You know, like it wasn't like big things that I felt like that were really shocking in the gaming industry this year. So
there were very few surprises. There were a couple, like the Cyberpunk game, but. Other than that,
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, not a whole lot of things, but I'm sure I could have still filled 3 hours. I could fill 3 hours just talking myself. So
I know, I played with you.
All right, and last but not least, Altius asks, when do you think Sony will finally give in on the cross-platform stuff? There is still so much negative buzz online weeks after E3.
I don't think they will. I honestly don't. Not that because I'm a, Xbox PC fanboy, Nintendo Switch, but Sony, I don't think they will. They have what they want. They're leading the console wars, first of all. So they have what they want. They are coming out with some good games. None that I'm really interested in, but they are some good games that people really like. And they just don't have any need to. But they do need to fix the issues on the fact that when somebody else logs into a game, it's not for PlayStation. It's for the actual console or whatever else it is, because that issue's got to go away, because that could be a serious thing for them in the future. So
yeah, that's a little douchey. I'm not as optimistic on you as Sony always being king here. I think at some point there's going to be a sea change where. Because there was an article we talked about maybe like 4 or 5 months ago where it said that Sony's console sales are slowing and now it's all about software for them, whereas Microsoft still has all this ability to sell in consoles because they haven't reached critical mass yet. So I think as the Sony sales slow and the Microsoft sales increase, we're going to start to see Sony start. They're no longer going to have this giant over percentage of consoles over Microsoft. And they're going to have to start doing some things that make them seem more viable to people, because
I would totally agree with that.
Kids in
but
school,
Microsoft's not going to catch up.
You have friends that have PlayStations, and Microsoft's like, hey, no matter what your friends have, they can all play. But Sony's the guy that's like, oh no, you got to be in our ecosystem, and that was cool years ago, but things are changing now, and everybody's playing together, and Sony's not, and it's going to bite them in the ass. I'll tell you.
But I would agree. It's definitely going to bite them. But I think that they're not. Microsoft, is never going to bridge that gap this time around in the console war. I mean, the Xbox One X is a fabulous console. Even the Xbox One was a good console. It wasn't quite as good as the PS4 Pro, but you still just have that. They have that such a lead that and they have some phenomenal games coming out. Like, I mean, the Spider-Man game.
Spider-Man's insane.
That is. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's only a few games I've ever really seen that PlayStation has brought out that really actually drew me in. Horizon Dawn Zero is one of them. I actually borrowed one from somebody so I could actually play the game. But the Spider-Man game looks pretty sweet. Like, they've actually done a good job with it. I've seen a lot of comparisons online of how they've, really made the Spider-Man game an actual Spider-Man game. But my biggest beef with Sony is they don't. They make a lot of promises and don't keep them. So, but I think it's going to still, back to Althea's question, I still think it's going to be a while. I don't think they're really going to care right now. Maybe if there's a next generation console where, there's a big maybe for me. If there's a big next generation console, I know there's all these things flying around about that, but I honestly don't think they'll actually play in the same ground until they're actually forced to by everybody.
Yeah, but I think what you said is right, though. I think they're going to fix that other problem first. The locking into their ecosystem from third-party accounts, because that's just fucked up. And there's been
That's completely missed.
there's been enough backlash about that since E3 that somebody has to be trying to figure something out at Sony, like some sort of decoupling or whatever, because they're obviously that came off really bad, especially on the hooves of a huge announcement that, oh, Fortnite is coming to fucking Switch, and all these people are like, yeah, I'm gonna play on my Switch, and then no, you're not gonna play on your Switch.
Yeah.
So I guess only time will tell. But if any of you have awesome feedback or questions like these, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooledtoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? James Yaunt Dog Yaunt, what have you been playing this week?
I'm a big time variety Xbox gamer. I don't have a PC because I don't have enough money for that stuff, that big dog stuff. But I play a lot of. I switch around a lot, so depending on the night. So I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves. That gets kind of old, so then I'll switch to PUBG, Fortnite. Very little Destiny 2 now. I'll play a little bit just because it's got a little bit of intrigue, but the grind is way too real. I've been playing actually a lot of Rocket League with my kids lately, so that was kind of weird, but it's been kind of fun just playing with them because I know they're going to be the next generation gamers, so, I got to get them good at playing the game so they can carry me,
So you got to build up your squad.
Eventually. Yeah, a little bit of Pogo and some State of Decay occasionally, but this is things that I've been playing lately. How about you?
Look at you! You're like the ADD gamer. I have.
I am. You have no idea.
So I played some Sea of Thieves with you this past week. I still enjoy that game, but like you said, it's not something you can play every night. Although some of the promises they're making make it seem like they're trying to bring it back to an every night kind of game, which could be good. Other than that, I played some Super Mario Odyssey on the Switch.
Which is just crazy to me that you finally bought a Switch.
I know.
But it's awesome. It's cool.
It was only because I wanted to refuse it for so long. And Tiff was like, well, I really want to play Zelda, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, fine. We'll get a Switch. And she was playing Zelda. Like, the problem is that she plays now every time we go in the car, instead of me having someone to talk to, she's just sitting there fucking playing on the Switch in the passenger seat. So
that's my world too, but my wife's on the phone. She's not actually on the Switch. So
I'm driving solo. Nobody to talk to. Like we went up to Niagara Falls, like 7 hours of her sitting playing Zelda.
Just call me. Just call me up. We just talk on the phone.
But then when I finally reclaimed it from her, I was like, I'm gonna get some. I had all the intention to go get the tennis game, and then I signed on the store, and I was like, oh, the eShop's got Super Mario Odyssey, and I haven't played a Mario game in a while, so I pulled it down, and I forgot how much I hate the 3D camera Mario games versus the 2D games, but it's still a fun game. But it takes a bit to get used to the stupid camera angle stuff. But it's
not as bad as Mario 3D though. That one was.
Oh, that was horrendous.
That was. Yeah. I don't get sick during playing games, but man, running up upside down and stuff after a while, no. I actually think that Mario Odyssey is probably my number 2 Mario game of all time. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Because it's got collectibles too. It's kind of one of those weird things that actually they put collectibles in the game finally, where you can grab new suits and different hats and stuff. So I'm a collectible guy. That's why I'm a variety gamer, kind of ADD. I like to go play and collect things. So
yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm not that far now. I'm only a couple hours in at this point. And other than that, it's Pokemon Go. We had some fucking events the last couple weeks. We had the what do you call it event? With the sunglasses, the
Blastoids event, or the Team Turtle.
Yeah, technically it was so we did that event. Then this past weekend we had some more raids. The Zapdos raids. I got a shiny Zapdos. Felt good about that. So, and as much as people want to say Pokemon Go is dead, like everywhere that I went, there are so many fucking people playing. There was no problem. Like the morning that the fucking what's his name, Registeel launched, I went out 10 o'clock in the morning. I was in a raid with 12 people and pulled them down, no sweat. Like there's plenty of people out there playing this game. If you're not playing, it's just because you either live in the burbs or you don't have. There's not people around.
Like me.
If you go into even a small city, there are people playing everywhere. And if you go on one of these community days or a day where there's some special raid, there are fucking people everywhere. So you are absolutely mistaken if you think that this game has died off, because it has not. And I wish we could pull up the stats on the store and see just how much money people are spending on this game, because it has to still be a ton.
I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I don't think they made quite as much as of late, but I think they've made probably as much, if not more, than Fortnite has. You know, I know Fortnite announced, we've made $1 billion, but I think they've made more than that.
Oh, think about everybody buying incubators and this and that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, especially with the latest stuff where these Alolan guys, some of them you can only get by hatching these eggs, and if people are going to work their like one default incubator, see, and if you're enjoying the game, there's nothing wrong with throwing $10 that way. So I have no problem. I mean, I've spent money on Pokemon Go. I like the game. I've been playing it for years now.
I can admit I have not yet. We'll get to that later. Why? So.
All right. So that's like a little teaser there.
Yeah.
All right. So, Yount, on that, why don't we hop on over into the new releases, which isn't really a new release. It is No Man's Sky. It's coming out for the Xbox this week. It is launching simultaneously with the fourth major update to No Man's Sky, which is what they're calling the next update, which brings in multiplayer, fixes. Ever since the game launched and people shit on it with like that Jurassic Park song and the stupid fake dinosaurs, they've been trying to make this game better. And from what I've heard from people that are playing, it actually is a lot better now. So I think that this is probably the best time for it to launch on Xbox, because people that didn't have a PC and didn't have a PlayStation 4, this is their first opportunity to pick up the game. They're actually picking up a game that's probably how it should have launched. but
yeah, I think it should have been more of a console game more than a PC game first. Yeah. I think they bit off more than they can chew when they first launched it. I was excited about it, but I was just so irritated. I'm like, I had to wait because, again, I don't have a PC, so I had to wait forever. And there's now giving me the Xbox version. I've moved on, especially after all the press release and stuff for it. I mean, I'm still interested in the game, so, if I know a couple of people that might pick it up, I might actually pick it up and play and see if I can't find them, or just troll for the fun of it. But, I mean, it's another one of those games, like, I watched it when it first came out. I'm like, it's kind of reminds me of, like Minecraft. You're just mining for materials to make more stuff, to mine more materials. So, like, you can only play them for so long, I know you're searching. It looks
better than Minecraft, though. That's the one part they have going for them is the aesthetic.
It does look fantastic.
Yeah.
I actually saw an article. They were talking about why they didn't put, trying to think, worms in the world, like, terror worms or whatever underground, try to kill people. So it was kind of funny to see. They were trying to scoop it up and they're trying to make this launch go well, because if the Xbox doesn't go well, they're going to be in trouble.
They already had one failed launch, and getting a second bite at the apple is rare enough as it is, and they seem to really want to do the right thing after they launched and people complained, and from all accounts that I've heard from the people that I know that are playing on PlayStation, the game is so much better now. So people getting the perfect experience right out of the gate on Xbox, like that seems to be win-win. Sure, you had to wait 2 years, but at least the game you're playing is finished. But
I promise you this is what's going to happen. You're going to get so everybody's going to get the game, and then they won't be able to log in, because that's what usually happens with these games. People can't log in.
Scale the login thing.
Yeah, and then or everybody gets on within 5 minutes, it crashes, and you can't play it anymore. So that's probably what's going to happen. But no, best of luck to them. I really think it was a great game. I think it's a great concept. I think this is one of those games that could be really brought into like the Halo universe. It's kind of like what Destiny could have been, or the second time around. I mean, think how crazy that would have been if Destiny was this open world, or what I'm going to say, universe. I mean, how crazy though to get into a game like that where you can go fight and
a lot of people could learn from this if the multiplayer stuff goes well. I think that's you're absolutely right.
For sure.
Yep. Other than that, there's no other major new releases out this week. So on that, why don't we talk about some news, Yount? We got some stories here. Anything in particular you want to talk about? I'll let you start. You pick a story, any story.
All right. Well, since we kind of clipped it earlier, let's go ahead and talk about the Pogo. So, Pokemon Go cheaters now get 3 strikes and then they're banned. So, how crazy is that? So,
It used to be an insta ban.
Let's hear that. Let's hear this a little bit about how you feel about this, and then let me kind of chime in on how I play Pokemon Go, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So, as someone that's played Pokemon Go from the beginning and followed all the rules, and I've had to drive around to different places, and I had to deal with them reducing the refresh rate of the app, so you couldn't just drive by Pokestops at full speed and spin them and all this other stuff. I played this game from the beginning, following the rules, and I've done pretty fucking well with this game. I liked the fact that there was this threat of an insta-ban for people that were cheating. Softening up to 3 strikes and you're out seems kind of lenient, but they must have a reason for it. But I'm more of a fan of being a purist and playing the game correctly. What do you think, Jan?
Well, so I actually play it twofold. I played it at first. I played it hardcore, but the area I'm in, I know Smooth talked about this earlier, but the area I'm in, I have to drive an hour to get to anybody or any really Pokestops or gyms. I mean, there's a few around me, but I mean, the spawns are awful. I mean, there's barely any nest spawns nearby. So I played for probably a couple months the normal way, but then I found a few hacks. So I was playing the hacks for a long time. It got more fun for me because I could roam around the world and see new places digitally. But
seeing new places.
I know. That's why I said haha. But for me, it's again, because I'm kind of like one of those gamer collectors. For me, it's about collecting it. It's not ruining somebody else's game. It's not, I know it's against the terms and conditions, but I'm actually soft banned right now, so I can only catch general Pokemon.
Oh, look at you got soft banned.
Yeah, you get soft banned.
I did not know this.
But yeah, I just actually got soft banned today. Yeah, because I went back and started playing the hack because I was playing legit for a while because they were bringing. So I left it some time to get time for me to actually do some more stuff with it and actually be able to catch some new Pokemon because it was getting kind of boring. So I started playing and then I caught back up again. So I started really trying to get some rare Pokemon because those are hard to find for me. Literally, if Niantic would literally increase the spawns everywhere. I'm not kidding you. Across the board. I don't care about Pokestops. Just increase the spawns of the Pokemon everywhere. There's no reason they can't do it. Even the rural areas and the country areas. I mean, seriously, there's no way. Where they have one Pokemon spot, there should be 30 Pokemon spots. If they would do that, it would be more legit for me. But I probably won't play Hack too much anymore because I really don't get banned. I like doing it occasionally with my kids and my wife, but. And then again, it gets kind of old after a while since I can't collect them all because you got to collect them all. Obviously. But no, I agree with what they're doing. I do agree with what you said. They should have just went straight up ban. It should not be it. But the problem is, and there's a lot of guys on the YouTube that I've watched about this. It's true. It's all about where the money's at. If you see these guys spending money, they're not going to ban you. If you're spending tons of money and even if it's past the terms and conditions, I mean, think about it. Bungie had the same problem. They had a bunch of people cheating into the game. They banned them for a month, okay? Mm-hmm. They were literally hacking the game. They banned them for a month. I mean, normally you just ban them for good, right? Why would you not ban them for good? Yeah. Only for a month. That's just silly.
Yeah, I guess you make a good point, because even if you're GPS spoofing, if you want to hatch eggs and shit, you're still going to pay the piper and buy them from Niantic.
Yeah, and I didn't spend any money because I knew I didn't want to spend money on the game because the not only the fear of getting banned, but also the fact that I didn't want to throw money at the game and then they were just like, well, you threw money at the game and then we're gonna ban you, and I just didn't want to go through all that rigmarole of just I thought about spending money when it first came out. I would have dropped $100 easy, got the coins, bought a bunch of stuff, but I'll probably play legit for a while,
Yeah.
until it comes to another good hack. But I do enjoy playing it normal with my kids and stuff. But like I said, it's so far from me to go to actually get good spawn areas. I mean, Indianapolis is an hour for me, so that's where I got to go to actually get some spawns. They're not bad either. They got pretty good nesting areas, but it's nothing like when you spawn in San Francisco or Japan or Tokyo, and you're just
Pokestops all around.
Actually, the other day I was actually in Europe in the neck of your woods, and I was catching Pokemon in your area too. So got good spots there. So just Pokestops. But I agree with what they're doing. I just think that I think they should add more things to the game, other options. Like, think about this. What if they would have made that a paid option? Just to get the reticle to walk around, you pay $20 to get it. Yeah. How much money they would have made on that? I know it's a one and done thing, and they have a good cash cow on its buying incubators all the time. But I mean, it's still one. I mean, you got 1 million people to buy the thing to walk around. Yeah. I see why they're going. They want it to be a healthy thing, but there should be more to the game too, as well, for people in the rural areas and the country areas that really want to play. That that are Pokemon fans. There's just those.
They took a bold step with this game, because every other Pokemon game you sat on your ass and you played on your fucking DS, and this one they were like, no, you want to catch shit, you're going to be walking around and actually get some exercise. And that's bold for a video game manufacturer to do something like that, but they're the right time with smartphones and everything else, and it seems to work well. Like I said, when we were out doing the Zapdos raids this weekend, the very first place we went we didn't actually go to the local city. We went to a nearby town, just to the downtown square, because there was 3 gyms there, and of course they're all lit up. And we went over to this church to do the first one, and there were these 2 little, like, probably an 8-year-old kid and a 6-year-old kid with their mom, and one of the guys we were with was like, you guys want to join us? And like any other time in the world, this would be super sketchy, but the mom was like, oh, they would love to. Yeah. And so the 6 of us knocked down the Zapdos in no time. And then we went to the next thing. And then we went to the next town over to their little town square that had 4 gyms there, and they were all lit up. And sure enough, like we walk up to the first one. These guys are like, did you already do the other 3? We're like, this is our first one. And we teamed up with like 7 other guys there. And as we were moving around, there were these other giant packs of people moving stop to stop. So even in some of the
it's definitely towns, a game that still people are playing. Yeah. I do have a smaller town that's near me that I don't want to mention, but there's a smaller town near me that's I could go play. It's that's got a town square. They've got about 4 or 5 gyms down there. But again, like I've been down there. When they first came out, we went around there. I did the whole drive around, Pokespin, stop thing, and then they made it slow down. But the good news is that I can slow down because there's a lot of lights in there to get a lot of Pokestops. Nice. But even then, like I sat there for hours one day, literally just sit there and walked around the square and unless there was just a bad day and there was no good spawns, but I was just getting a lot of the general stuff. Occasionally I'd get something that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, but it's just the general spawns. It would totally suck.
One of these special days, like when they're like, there's gonna be increased spawns. Like the shiny Plusle and Minun, or these raid days, because the raid days, every fucking gym is lit up with the raid. It's just insane.
Oh, that Zapdos one was crazy. Yes, I think that was cool. I definitely thought that was cool.
So, all right. Let's see what else we got here. We got the Cursed Sails DLC coming for Sea of Thieves at the end of the month. This looks pretty cool. This is big ass boats full of skeletons. And a new boat. Yeah, that's a 3-man boat.
The 3-man, which is kind of interesting that's the direction they went. They went from a 2-man and a 4-man to a 3-man. Like what? How about, like, I've heard inklings that they were going to do an 8-man. Like, that would be cool to find an 8-man ship, but that would be insane.
But instead of doing the 8-man, they did these alliances. So now you can just have 2 people, 2 crews alliance up, and which I guess makes sense, but.
Well, I think you're going to kind of need to, because I think for the people like us that that actually have real jobs and we actually have to come back and play games at a normal hour, instead of actually streaming it all day. I think we're going to have to find more people to team up with to take down these ships because these skeleton ships, because I think they're going to be a little bit more than the Kraken or the Megalodon. I think they're going to be it's going to be I know it's still like the AI, it's not a real person playing against a real pirate on the somebody else in their house, but I still think it's going to be definitely a different shock.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It's not. It's good to see they're going in this direction where they're making stuff tougher, and and they've said they're going to add new mechanics to the game. They're like, hey, we understand people think it's all the same 3 things over and over and over, and we're adding some new stuff. We're changing some stuff up, and we're going to add all new mechanics to the game going forward. So for a game that really most people aren't buying because it came with their Game Pass, like this is an unprecedented amount of effort from a developer to do follow-on content for a game that costs you nothing. Like I'm super happy with what's going on with this game, and every time I get there, like there's days that I'm like, I got stuff on the DVR, I'll watch that. Oh, I got this movie to watch, I'll watch that. But then when I finally sit down and I actually start up Sea of Thieves, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot how much I love this game. And then like, dun, 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 dun.
Folks, he does that when we play the game too. Don't let me fool you.
I absolutely do. It's my ringtone on my fucking phone. Okay, so
yeah. I think they've done a good job with the game. I think it's definitely one of the best pirate games I've seen in a long time. I think they definitely are going to keep improving and building on it, which is great because that's good to see in a game. And the stuff they're doing, I mean, just the little things they've done, the few events they've done, they're doing weekly like season things, which are cool. I think that seems to be the new genre besides the battle royale. A lot of games are doing seasons, which seasons are great. I think that it really brings back gamers to do, even for a week or so, just to bring back into the game, which is great. That's what gamers want. They want to keep playing the game. They want to come back to it every once in a while, keep playing it. Yeah, it's like going back to Halo. They bring some back, new gun in Halo for some reason. You like go back to play with it. That's the type of thing that we want as gamers. But the biggest thing to me, I thought it was the funniest thing that they brought to the game so far, is the fact that the stupid Skellimans carry barrels now. Like, why did you add that silly mechanic?
It's the most annoying
cool. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny, but it's definitely a good thing that they brought to the game. I think they're really thinking about it. I think they're really trying to enjoy that they're making the game. It's good to see a developer who actually trying to do that and make good content for the future. I think it's one of those games that they just keep building upon and not go like, well, we're going to stop building upon this. We're going to make a Sea of Thieves too. No. Yeah. Keep just building upon this game. I know eventually the software gets old and all that stuff gets old, the engines and stuff. But if they just keep building upon it, and I don't think they need to do a Sea of Thieves 2. I think it just keep it as it is and keep building upon the game.
If they need to sell us DLC at some point, that's fucking fine with me. Like,
oh yeah, it's only gonna be $30, which is not that bad.
Yeah,
I know
they already have 2 more free DLCs planned, so
yeah,
it's plenty of content that we've got for free. And when they finally go to charge for an actual expansion, it's not like Destiny that's going to $60. Oh, and you didn't buy the other ones? Go buy those too. And like it's an entirely different mindset than the Activision mindset.
Yeah. Which is a good one. I feel like those are the kind of the same things, though. It's kind of the same mindset. If you actually look at the logistics of what you paid for Destiny, for this first expansion, for this game, it's the same thing. I feel like it's the same kind of thing. But I do agree. Like they do the stupid thing, like you can't have the second DLC without purchasing the first DLC. That's where they get themselves screwed. It should just be kind of at that point. Like, it's just negate it and just give it. People were with us
or people weren't. And now we want to bring people in. So here, buy this DLC, and you can start with everything that came before. That's what World of Warcraft always did. Like if a new expansion came out, you could start at that expansion and get all the previous stuff and move forward from there. And which
There's
is nice.
just no reason for that, because I mean, technically, you bought the new DLC in any game, like the second DLC to a game. Realistically, you can still, like a Destiny, you can still pick up the exotic weapons from. Like, there's no reason they're truncating that. I mean, maybe you don't give them the story missions for the whatever the Curse of Osiris they have, but you can still give them all the back end stuff, like and give them the new
It's just a
missions.
dick
I just
move.
don't,
That's what it's all a money grab.
because they do it with PvP all the time. They just, when the PvP comes out with the new expansion, they just give it to you for free technically,
Yeah.
and everybody else gets it, even if they didn't buy the expansion. So
'Cause they
or
can't
even the
break
previous
their
one.
user base. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like what they're doing. I don't like what Bungie's doing. So hopefully they continue on their own path and not follow suit with these other guys. But
well, they're their own developer. I feel like they're not bought out by the big dogs yet. If they get bought out by the big dogs, like seriously bought out, then things might change, because we saw that
they're
happen.
a Microsoft
Yeah,
studio though, so that's they right
yeah,
now they're
but-
safe. But then
Yeah.
again, so was Bungie once. So who knows?
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, so was No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky had the same issue too. I feel like they were kind of to bring it back to circle the new release. They were the same way. I felt like they were just this independent gamer, and they got bought out. But Activision didn't really. Did they Activision buy them out, or they just kind of helped them along or whatever? Anyways.
Yeah, I think Hello Games is still their own.
Yeah, I think they helped them along, but then, or maybe it was just Sony, but it just kind of crippled. I feel like it crippled them because they pushed it too fast, and
you try to get too much
you know,
out and more than they've done, and yeah. No, I hear you.
I mean, as a gamer, I want content. I want content all the time. I want new content to come, but I don't want you to rush it either. Too,
No.
I want good content. I don't want content that's going to break and I can't lock in. That makes me not want to play your game. Period.
No, absolutely agree. Let's see what else we got here. We both have Switches. GameStop says that Switch sales doubled after E3, which was I feel mostly due to the Fortnite
Smash
stuff
Brothers?
and Smash Brothers, and
Serious.
you
Considered all
the 1 hour
Nintendo's
Smash Brothers
Smash
commercial.
Yeah.
Every Smash Brother character ever is here. Like, it was the weirdest treehouse ever. It was literally an hour of Smash Brothers.
I was dumbfounded. I was literally dumbfounded by it.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then you thought it was over, and they're like, no, now let's go in. Even though we told you who they were, let's go into detail one by one of all the characters. And you're like, oh my god, I've had enough of this. And they're like, hey, do you think that's enough? No, it's all. Like, it was insane.
I'm sure there were some gamers out there that were all thrilled about it. I liked Smash Brothers. I played the first one, but I wasn't like a hardcore one. But that's Nintendo's that way. They have those few games that they're going to launch that are just going to spike their sales. Even though GameStop sales are going down, Nintendo's sales are going up.
Yeah.
But it was weird. The article said like that yet their stock went down. Nintendo's stock went down, but yet their sales went up. And again, it's coming from GameStop. I have problems with things that they say.
Who does?
Yeah, they're not. I feel like they're not really that legit of a company telling us like they're supposed to be the game company, but they're the game company that rips you off when you bring a game back in, and so it's kind of hard
to get pennies on the dollar. I
know.
like to get $5 for the game that I bought last week, and then I like them to turn around and resell it for $55. Like that.
Yeah,
seems like good.
that's wonderful. Yeah. It's like Best Buy. Best Buy does the same thing. Not returns, but that's how they do their cables and stuff. It only costs $5, but we're going to charge you $150 for it.
See, ideally, what people should do, if people were smart, they would take back the game they want to sell and stand outside of GameStop and be like, listen, I'm selling my used. Just spend the day there. Here are my used games. I'll give them you for $40. They're going to charge you $55. They're only going to give me $5. Like, this is a deal. For
Shoot, I would take half. I would literally, if I had a $60 game I paid, I would go $30. I'd be like, 30? Yep. Oh, you're gonna give me 25 and a popsicle? Sure, let's go for it.
That's better than $5.
I'm all about that. Yeah, better than going there and they're going like, you just bought that game a week ago, but we're going to pay you $5 for it. I mean, no. So it's hard for me to like read the article and like be like, are they really legit? The Switch sales went up. It could be just for them trying to boost the people coming in and buying Switches. So it's hard for me to like, and again, it's hard for me to see somebody like that. It's actually a retailer. That's like Walmart coming out and saying, oh, this rocking horse has really been in an upsell lately. Then everybody's going to flock and see what the heck's wrong with the rocking horse, why they want a rocking horse. And then their sales will go, like, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things for me as a marketing guy, kind of just, the article's really hard for me to believe. And like, especially when Nintendo stock went down and then the sales went up, like that, I don't know.
The only thing that buys some credence to this is that the Nolan household did not have a Switch until after E3. So
yeah, true.
E3 was the impetus of picking it up. So at least from my perspective, it seems plausible, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's plausible across the board. I mean, think of how many people probably bought a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X. And I'm sure, like, all the console sales kind of went up after E3. I think it's kind of like one of those given things. People see games and they're excited about it. So they buy a new console, or whatever. Or that a kid finally that mommy and daddy said, oh, you'll buy that for you. And he saw a cool game. And that's, that I just feel like that's the time frame. It's a good sales time for any manufacturer, unless I screwed something up. It's just a good time for them to sell consoles at that point.
Absolutely. All right, well, we're ahead of schedule, so you want to do another story here yet?
Sure. Let's. So I was an all-time Call of Duty fan when it first came out. Loved the game. Played a crap load of it. So this new article I found today, that I thought was interesting. They talk about So Treyarch explains how Call of Duty Black Ops 4 doesn't have baggage from previous stories. Like, did you read the article? Like, I was like, this is like a silly article, but I can understand where they're going. But it's hard for me because I'm a campaign guy. I'm a thoroughly campaign guy. And I love their campaigns. I especially love the Black Ops 1 campaign. I didn't like 2. 2 was kind of goofy, but 1 was really good. But I also loved Modern Warfare's.
I love the Modern Warfare campaign.
I love the game in general. The whole game in general was awesome. But I agree with what they're going because they're trying to go with the Battle Royale thing. Their zombie thing is good. It's big. They're trying to push that hardcore. They have a big following. There's people that still play, what is it? World War II zombie. I mean, so it's still pretty big, but like the article just says they didn't want to do it pretty much because they didn't think they were really needed to. It's kind of what I felt with the article.
It's more of a cop out as to why there's not. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I played Black Ops 4 at E3 and it was awesome. Like, and they definitely, story thing aside, they made changes that are unprecedented for a shooter. Like Call of Duty was always, you get shot, your screen starts to turn red around the edges, and you're like, and you have to duck down and hide. And this new mechanic of, well, now you have to heal yourself, and you can take your fucking needle and jam it in your arm and heal yourself. But
so you're playing PUBG.
But you can't do. But you can't do any. Yeah, exactly. You can't do anything else during that time. Or do you're weak on health. The guy that's shooting is weak on health. Do you chase him down and try to kill him? Like it kind of changes the dynamic of Call of Duty.
It does. It's back to the battle royale. That's the big thing right now. That's what it is. It's that while you're healing, you can't shoot, jump, move, nothing. You do something, it cancels it out. So and it does change the genre of the game. It does change the momentum of the game too, and which brings to the point. Like I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Halo Infinity. Like that, like what they, and the crazy part, they've said that they're not going to do. They're not going to do a battle royale. So where they're going with it, I don't know. But besides the point, but this, I don't know. You interested in playing this? Because I definitely will pick it up. And
I didn't want to until I went to E3 and played it. But like the problem is we've had such a shit show of games. Like I love Destiny 1 so much. I literally played every night for 3 years, and then Destiny 2 came out, and it was kind of shitty. And they seemed like they backtracked and I decided to still push through, give it a chance. And I played through the first two, like the first expansion came out. I played through that. It was kind of like a shitty add-on to the raid. It wasn't. It felt like they took such a step back and they were going the wrong direction. And
they're back at par playing. Now. Just to let you know, they're back at par. So they're back to D1.
But I can't go back now. I can't go back.
I know.
I drew a line in the sand. They fucked me. No lube, and I just can't. I can't take that. Like that's so. At this point, I'll take. You give me a good shooter, and I'll play it. And that's why I think I haven't bought a Call of Duty game since. I never bought any of the Treyarch games, so I can't remember what the last one I would have bought was. It was.
I bought Warfare. What was it? No, which one was it? It was the
Future one.
The Future Warfare. So I bought that one,
whatever that one was,
and I never opened it. I never opened it. It's still in the package. Underneath my console with the rest of my games. It's still in the package. Like after Black Ops 2, it just felt like the same game. So I'm interested to see this because I want to see, without the storyline, having a campaign. I want to see where they're going with the game. I want to see if they really have changed it, because it was like the epitome of Twitch shooters. I mean, it was literally
it was like, always like, and you're down, and you're like, well, where did I get shot from? And then you have to look at the kill cam, and you're like, oh, okay. And then that guy's not there when you go back. Like,
yeah. So I'm interested to see this new mechanic with healing and stuff like that, and I want to pre-order just so I can play the beta and see how it goes. I think it'll be a fun game to play, depending on how well the beta goes. It's a beta, but at this point, the game's pretty much close to being done. So the beta is just going to be
The game felt like a release game at E3. Like it was picture perfect.
And that's one thing I'll give to even Treyarch or those guys that do these back and forth every year. They do build a solid game. Yeah. Call of Duty is always comes out. It's always a solid game. It's always good to play. It might be more of it's gone a crazy direction of how twitchy it is to shoot and play, but it's always been a solid game. I mean, from the campaign to, and that's why it's disappointed me. That's why I put the story on here because I want to talk about it. Like, and I'm sure people out there that are going to listen to this podcast, like I'm sure they're disappointed too. Let us know. Throw something in the under chat. Yeah, throw a like to the Too Old to Play subscribe button on the YouTube. Throw it out there. Yeah.
Nice work.
For sure. And there's comments about that too, because I mean, I'll go read them. I'll go read them because I read them all the time. And I want to see how many people are disappointed about it, because I mean, think about it. Think if they came out with a Halo with no campaign.
Oh my God. That's because some people don't like multiplayer in these games, especially Call of Duty. The one that people complain most about is the Call of Duty multiplayer. Like Tiff loves the Call of Duty campaigns, hates the multiplayer because it's unforgiving. It's not like you have shields. It's not like Master Chief or whatever. Oh, the last one we played was Ghosts. That's the one I couldn't remember. Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah, you have to be extremely good and know how to really play the game. Or if you're mediocre, it's kind of still rough to play the game. You have to. And if you're horrible at it, it's just no fun at all. I mean, it really is no fun at all. Just you just get destroyed every 5 minutes. So
we'll see what kind of backlash there is. But as far as the multiplayer goes, I will tell you it's solid as fuck and it is enjoyable. And
well, we should both just pre-order it, and then if we don't like it, just cancel the pre-order, just to play the beta and see how it goes.
But see, do you get the beta if you pre-order from Xbox?
I don't know.
Look at discs. My consoles are all versions. They've never had a disc in their slot. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, there's no slot in his computer.
But yeah, if I can pre-order it from Xbox, and I'm gonna buy it anyway. What the fuck? Like I buy it once. Tiff and I both get it. Who gives a shit? As long as I get the stuff from pre-ordering it from Xbox, it doesn't matter. Now, yeah, it's definitely on my list of things to play, especially with this lack of shooters we've had and lack of shooters to come. Like, there's nothing in the near future that's really exciting me.
So, from what I just Googled and read, yes, you can actually get it through the pre-order of on their Xbox. So
That's all just pre-ordered there.
yeah, and it looks like PS4 are in place in PC as well. So it looks like you can pre-order because I think they want to get people interested. They want to show them, like you saw at E3. They want to show them about the game. They want to know, how good it is to, to play. How we're changing the genre up. Because I think it's about time that they've needed something like this. Again, like I said, the campaign is just in the article. The fact that there's like, we didn't feel like doing it. Just like that's so disappointing. Like,
I feel like that's not real. Like that's what they're saying, but really it was like you guys are putting in a fucking battle royale mode. Scrap what you have to, including the campaign. And they're like, well, we got to scrap the campaign.
No, true. I think that's probably what it. They were probably about done with the campaign. They said, let's just scrap it completely, and we want you to change it up to a battle royale. It's funny, this battle royale thing that's going on. It's not going to last for much long. I mean, it'll last probably another 2 years, but it's.
For some
there's
people,
a new wave of game coming.
The thing that it did is it let people that weren't really good at shooters play shooters in a different way that they felt better about their skills. Yeah. Like, you can literally be a hiding pussy and play PUBG, and you can make it to maybe even Final 5. Like, you can not kill anyone and get to the end of the game, to end game, which is not the case in any other first-person shooter you've ever played, or even third-person shooter. Like, it's the one that
they're not fast-paced.
No,
that's the thing. They're not fast-paced.
Slow,
unless you hiding. You're in Fortnite and you drop into Tilted or retail. That's the only way you're going to drop in a heavy drop area. That's the only way it's going to be. Crazy kill count games. Otherwise, you're running across the map. Which crazy to me. It used to drive me crazy because technically Battlefield has been a battle royale forever. If anybody actually thinks about it, it really has been. It's the same kind of thing because you just run, and you kill somebody or you get killed. Like, it's just the only difference is Battlefield
you respawn and you have the stupid commander telling you where to go. And
so that's kind of the few differences, but it's been that way. It's been a big
64 player game. Yeah. No, I hear you.
So, but I don't think that the battle royales, it'll be around for a little while, but I think it's going to evolve a lot of different games to different things in the next few years. I think it's going to really bring a new genre of gaming, which is good for us.
Yeah, look at Realm Royale. Like, that game it's a battle royale game. It's got classes. It's got, they've kind of taken the battle royale thing and brought it, they've merged it with, single game RPG, like where you start at the beginning and then you level up, kind of like any of those games where you start from scratch at the beginning of the game, and like League of Legends, like every League of Legends game you start and you kind of level up as you go through, you unlock new shit. That's kind of what Realm Royale is. It's like a mix of those and RPGs and shooters, and it's a genre that has room to expand, but eventually it's going to reach critical mass and we're going to be back to just playing shooters again.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's doing it. There's so many games we can talk about it's technically a battle royale genre that people are throwing out there. I mean, the one that I thought was the quirkiest, the goofy one, was the one where Cliffy B had his little game that came out.
I loved his game like that.
Dude, that was I was so wanted to play it so badly. Again, not a PC guy. I wish I was, but I wanted to play it so badly. It just disappoints me that they didn't feel like they spent a lot of time in it, but it had such interesting mechanics.
Yeah, the whole and snack machines to buy stuff.
Yeah,
and the persistent currency, and it was cool. But in this world of Fortnite and PUBG, there's not enough room. For
but PUBG's still got a player base, but they're declining because they're not doing enough. They're showing.
They're just like, we got a new map.
Gamers are showing. Yeah. Gamers are showing what the true style of what they're wanting anymore. They want constant content to come out. Every couple weeks they can grind for. That's not really a hard grind. Anybody can do it, but they want enough to where they can grind for it. It's going to be a grind. But PUBG doesn't have enough of that. That's what they need to do to change the whole battle royale scene for them. Is they need to have bring in a new map. Like, think about it. Fortnite hasn't really brought a new map out. They just changed their map a little bit each
Like,
season,
there's a
which
fucking
is
missile going off. Oh, there's a fucking
yeah. I mean, their
Thanos
marketing
dropping
crew.
down.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to be in their marketing crew. They are geniuses. Geniuses. I mean, they have got it down.
And they're like, hey, tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna have seasons, and every time we're gonna sell people a battle pass for $10, and they're gonna want to buy it every fucking time. And
well, not just that. I mean, how they do leading up to the launch of the actual
how
next
they
season,
kinda tease the next
all this
thing.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they just put little things in the game, like the TV screens for a while that they had that you could see, like what's going on with the TV screen. What's like people. I mean, even in Destiny, people were, when it first came out, like they were trolling to find all the ghosts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what people like. They like this little nuggets that you're playing. Like right now, actually, Destiny 2's got it's not the black spindle. They call it the worm something or other. They repurposed gun. I know, shake your head.
Literally, if I could give less fucks than 0 fucks, I would.
You could negative
fucks. Yes.
But anyways, I mean, they had a little. They've had a couple things that they've done that were like Easter egg things that they've unlocked. See, that stuff like that. That's what gamers want. We really do. All of us want. It doesn't matter if it's on PC, console. That's what we want.
Just want a constant challenge and
just a little bit of a challenge, but enough to where it's like, we have something to do.
Yeah.
That's why we play games. If we wanted something to do, we go watch Netflix. I mean, but if you want to keep us interested, then you need to keep playing the games and bringing new content.
don't get me wrong, I still like to watch Netflix, but just saying.
Yeah, my wife's actually got me watching The Blacklist, so I'm actually starting to watch it with her.
Look at you.
Yeah, I'm actually watching TV.
Look at you. This is good for you. Yeah. Our problem is we have too many TV shows.
I used to be a TV-aholic, but then I became a gamer, and then, to be honest with you, they canceled most of my shows. So I was a big Stargate fan. Canceled it.
Yeah,
there was a couple other
comfortable balance between TV and gaming. That's the trick, and that's been the thing for me. Is lately games have sucked, so I've got a lot more TV lately and a lot less gaming. But then for the past 3 years before when Destiny 1 was out, I watched almost no TV and was almost all gaming. So it kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah, but think about it in the Halo 2 days, how much we didn't play games, or we played games and
you didn't do anything.
Watch any TV.
I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. It was all Halo 2, but yes.
Now I wish they would come back a game that would capture me like that again. I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of these new games are that great nowadays and they're fun, but they just don't have the longevity. Like, I know we're fickle now, but because we're kind of ruined with all the stuff that's going on, but there's nothing like the good old Halo days. And there's not a gamer out there that can't, even if they didn't play it, they know about it. They know the feeling of it. They know how it is, even if they weren't a first-person shooter. I mean,
they did everything right at the time. The next morning, you could go into work, you could pull up fucking Bungie.net, pull up all your stats from every game, look at heat maps, look at this. Like, you could blow off an entire day at work just analyzing your Halo games from the night before, and I fucking did.
Oh, me too. For sure. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, you can't get that anymore. I feel like the games don't build any stats. You have to go to all these weird third-party people and
even they're not.
I don't want to sign into another site to even to find friends. I don't want to sign into another site to find friends. I want to be able to do it in the game, and then and then if I want my stats, I want stats to be either on your website or in the game. Like, I don't want to go somewhere else to find it. I don't have enough time for that.
Someday, Yant, it's going to come back. Maybe that's what's happening with Halo Infinite. Who knows? Maybe they're just going to fucking show us the shit.
I hope they blow my mind. I honestly do. I hope they blow my mind.
I'll tell you, just that trailer blew everyone in the fucking audience's mind. There was fucking jizz everywhere. People were creaming and screaming, and it was
nothing to the trailer.
There was nothing to it, but everybody fucking blew loads everywhere. It was insane.
We'll see something next year. Next E3, that'll be at least game footage.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're really going to release it next year or we're 2 years out or whatever.
I think we're going to see something next year at E3, and it's going to be holiday 2019.
Yeah,
and holiday,
I hope so.
Nowadays means anywhere between like September. And
I was gonna say,
it's never
expanded.
holiday.
It's not Thanksgiving to Christmas
it's
anymore.
More
It's
fall,
literally
really.
like
holidays the fall.
It literally is Christmas in July till December.
Yes. But we shall see what we shall see. All right. Well, if any of you have stories you want us to talk about next week, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toldtoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread on the Told to Play homepage. Tell us what you want us to talk about, and we'll fucking talk about it. Eventually, this episode will also appear, obviously, on iTunes. You can comment there. An audio version of this episode will be on YouTube, even though there's no video to it. You can comment there and just let us know what you want to talk about in the future, and we will fucking talk about it. And sponsors. Remember, by supporting your sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. We got no sponsors right now, so fuck them. They were stupid douches. They didn't pay us. They were like, "Ooh, you're not selling enough for our product. Fuck you." So I were like, fuck you. So we ditched them. So if you want to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us podcast@toldtoplay.com. You tell us what you're selling. We're telling you to pay us. You'll pay us. You sell. Boom, done! Twitter us up. You can find everything on Tool to Play related at twitter.com/tool-to-play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the internet, got everything that's fucking holding me at twitter.com/Derek Nolan. And Yacht has no fucking social media. So I am just going to keep talking over and over and over and over all of these things.
If you guys want to follow me, I am definitely on. It's James A. Yant at Twitter. I do Facebook only for family, so we're not going to worry about that. But if you want to tweet me and stuff like that and talk to me about stuff or just want to hit me up, it is James A. Yaunt, and it's YOUNT at Twitter. I do have it set up. I will get tweets.
So, into it.
Yeah, you did. You got me. You can definitely, you can just say, hey, what's up, big dog? I heard you show. Great job. Or you suck. Whatever you want to say. This is cool with me. But definitely, you can definitely shoot me a message or whatever. So
he is on Twitter. See, there you go. See, I guilted him into it. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/tool-to-play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan. And no Facebook in Young because it's private for family. Also, we have a YouTube channel. YouTube.com.
For old people too.
Nice. YouTube.com/tool-to-play. That's where we put all of our archive video content. So go there, fucking subscribe on YouTube. You'll be notified whenever we post a video, and it's good shit. So and this, like I said, all of our podcasts end up there. Whether they've been the vidcast versions or even these audio-only versions, I'm still putting up there with a little background image, and you can still listen to them on YouTube. So go there, youtube.com/tool-to-play, and subscribe. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews, so go there, search up Still Got Game, click the 5-star button. If you've got a few extra minutes, just write a nice little thing. Hey, the show's awesome. I love it. I've been listening for fucking 12, 13 years. It literally fills my week. There's enough of you out there listening that it doesn't make sense with the number of reviews we have. And I know that we changed the show a few times and we recreated it in iTunes. So even though we had tons way back when for Tool's Type Radio, those didn't move over because technically this is a new show. So if you could just even if you think you did it once, just go back there and help us out. Just fucking rate the show, review it, and it would mean a lot to us. We also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/tool-to-play. That's where we formerly did this live, and we may again in the future. Who knows? But it is where Tool to Play does all of our live video content. So go there, follow us there, and you'll be notified whenever we go live. And there's also a subscribe button. You can go there, click subscribe. It would cost you $5 a month, but that money goes directly to us. Fuck sponsors. It's like cutting out the middleman. But if you are a Amazon Prime person, then Twitch Prime is absolutely free. So if you already buy Amazon Prime, once a month you can subscribe to any one Twitch channel you want, absolutely free. Doesn't cost you anything, gives us the $5 anyway. The caveat is you have to go back there every month and redo it over and over and over. But if you're already listening to the show anyway and enjoying it, then that's not a big deal to you. So please go there, twitch.tv/tool-to-play, and subscribe to us and help us out.
And think about it, people. If you do the Twitch Prime and you throw us the $5, it's not for me. It's for these guys, these wonderful guys that put on the show every week when they can. But if you throw more $5, think about it. There's going to be more content coming because they're going to want to bring you more content. And if you love their content, you definitely need to just throw that subscribe there. So there's no reason you can't do it. Twitch Prime is free.
This
I mean,
guy's
you're
a
throwing
better
it to everybody,
salesman.
everybody else out there. Why not throw us a bone every once in a while? That's, you know.
Exactly. Help us out. Come on, throw us a bone. Normally, this is the point where I would say join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/play, but I don't know when we're going to go back to live video content. So just hold your horses and we'll see what happens. And on that, why don't we wrap this D Smooth and Yant episode up? I am Derek D Smooth Nolan.
And I am Yant, the big dog, Yant dog.
Here we go!
Y'all ready for this?
Outline looks good. All right, I'm going to start us up. Don't worry, I can do some editing if we have problems.
Wow.
All right. If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we wrap this D Smooth and Yant episode up? I am Derek D Smooth Nolan.
And I am Yant, the big dog, Yant dog.
Here we go! Bum, 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 na, 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 bum, 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 na, 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 bum, 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 na. Y'all ready for Yant? Banana, bum, 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 na, 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 bum, bum. Woo! That's what it's like to do a cocaine-fueled show without cocaine.
Well, you were liquored up, so we're good there.
Somehow, I can summon the inner cocaine. Like, that's the trick to it. You did good, Yant. Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
I know, it's super fun, right?
I was trying to give you guys some shout outs too. I was trying to really bring it in for you.
Oh, no.
Because I know it's important. I mean, if you guys stop getting subscribers, or I mean, just people listening, I mean, you guys will stop doing the show. And I know people will enjoy it, so they got to realize that if they don't, actually do something every once in a while, like subscribe or throw a review at us. I mean, goodness gracious, like, what's the point of us doing it anymore?
I always just do it because I love it. But yeah, we've always paid. That was the problem with never charging for Tool to Play or really getting real sponsors and just kind of going ad free. Is that it was just always for the fun of it. But,
yeah. Oh, I know. You guys started Tool to Play, and I mean, I wasn't there. I haven't been there as long as you guys have since you guys started it. But I've been there for a long time. Started Tool to Pwn, and then part of OMM for a while. I mean, I played in a bunch of tournaments, but nobody knew who I was. I played a bunch of Halo tournaments and just towards the middle of because there was a lot of freaking good people playing Halo back in the day. It's just, but I felt good because I could hold my own, and I was actually, towards the middle of the group instead of like at the end, because I knew who I was up against. But yeah, but there was actually a Call of Duty tournament, I think, that I was actually the leader for most of the tournament.